Hello,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome to this live. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this live, and here we are. I'm glad to be joined by Professor Cherono Rotich, who is a professor in college, and I'm going to let her introduce herself because I don't want to leave any of her titles out. But she agreed to come in and give us tips on how to get scholarships. Welcome, my friend.
Good evening. Thank you so much, my friend Dorcas Njuguna. I know we've come a long way together,
Yes.
and it's great to be here with you today. So, I am a professor of kinesiology in the School of Public Health at Indiana University, Bloomington campus. I also serve as Associate Dean for Organizational Climate, Inclusion, and Belonging in the School of Public Health at Indiana University. And I am the CEO and founder of KESID, that is Kenya Students in Diaspora. And I serve in many community organizations. I'm a community person. I think the most service that I really enjoyed doing was when I served in the Presidential Working Party on Education Reforms.
Okay.
So to me, that was the most fulfilling because we got to sit down with people from all walks of life in Kenya, from all the disciplines, from all walks of life, to review the Kenyan education system.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that.
Wow. I can only imagine how, you know, good and a lot of things that
Yeah.
people got and gained from you because I feel like you have a lot of resources. And that is why when you agreed to come here, I was like, yes, a lot of people are looking for this because we go, especially people who are in Kenya or here in America, go to their kids go to college blindly, not knowing the resources that we have out there. So we can start off, I guess you can tell us from the word go. Like if someone has a child in high school,
Mhm.
which I have,
Yeah.
maybe I was selfish, that's why I invited you.
Okay.
Like how early and where? I mean, where do we start?
So what I can tell you is, and I'm also one person. I have two of my daughters have graduated. They've finished the undergraduate. My another one has finished her master's. So
Yes.
I've been through this, and
Okay.
then I've been a professor in for over it's over 25 years now. I was a high school teacher, and then I'm taught in college. So I know exactly what that means. So it is not too early to start. I want to tell you, by the time you're sophomore, junior, that is when you really need to start applying for scholarships. You do not want to wait until the last year where you're a senior because you have a lot of things that are due. You have a lot of deadlines. You're trying to wind up with your friends. So it's never too early to start applying for scholarships. I can
Okay.
tell you that for now. Apply early, and it's never too late to apply for scholarships. So you start applying from your sophomore, from your junior, you get to the senior, and even when you get to college, whatever you get, it's never enough. So you can always apply on campus. While you get to campus, you get to know what is there, you get to know the resources. You apply during your freshman year, apply for scholarship during your sophomore, during your junior, during your senior. When you're done as a senior, you start applying for scholarships to go to graduate school. So
Wow.
there is no ending in this. We're constantly
Okay.
applying. Yes, you
Yeah,
should.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I know people here applying, but you ask, where do we go to apply? And which scholarships, like which scholarships are out there?
Interesting. So what I could tell you is, to be honest, there's a lot of scholarships out there. First, what you need to do is stay in very close contact with your counselors in school, with your teachers, with your advisors, because there's scholarships from government, there's scholarships from foundations, there's scholarships from private organizations, there's scholarships from nonprofit organizations, there's scholarships from individuals, there's scholarships from community based organizations, there's scholarship from churches. So there is money everywhere. The key thing is you want to know where to look. Like I said, we have a lot of advice, we have a lot of resources in school.
Yeah.
What I see is a lot of our young people do not take advantage of those resources. We have guidance and counselor, we have you have teachers, you have principals, so and that is what they're required to be doing, is to give you the resources. When you get to college, you have financial aid office, you have career and counseling, so there's so much. So just know where to look for based on what you're actually looking for, and ask questions. We as professors, we are ever ready to
Yeah.
answer questions, to help. So know your connections, get to know your teachers, ask questions, get to know your guidance and counselor, your principal. Get connected in church. When you go to church, find out what do they have. Like for example, in North Carolina, the State Employees Credit Union, they have scholarships. So banks have scholarships. So get to know McDonald's has scholarship, Coca-Cola Foundation has scholarships. So they have all these scholarships everywhere and anywhere. It's just that we don't prepare in advance. So the problem is know where you're looking for what you're looking for, of course, based on what you want to pursue,
Okay.
and then prepare in advance.
Okay. So you're saying there's no one general. So if someone wants to do maybe medicine, they
Exactly.
just need to go. Okay. Do you just search on the website like?
Yes, you can search on the website. If you go to financial aid FAFSA, if you go to financial aid, if you go to college foundations, they have a list of scholarships. When, like, if you're in college, if you go to the financial aid office, they'll give you a list of all extensive potential financial places. When you go to your school, you can get a potential for that. So for example, you want to go into accounting, you want to go into banking, start looking at places like Bank of America,
Mhm.
bank of this, bank of this. If you're looking for a medical, look for pharmaceutical companies, Eli Lilly, Merck. So start looking at those. That's why I said know where to look based on what is it that you want to do.
Okay.
What is it that you want to do? And remember also that a lot of colleges, most colleges have financial aid that is based on merit for students. So once you've been accepted, for example, to UNC Chapel Hill or Bloomington, so they have scholarships for students. I'll give you an example right here. Here in Bloomington, we have full ride for any student who is from the First Nation, Native Americans. So any
Hmm.
student is from the Native American community can go to school for free in Indiana University.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. There are places there just full. Everything is paid for. Full
Uh-huh.
board, full room, full everything. So you just need to know, get accepted, and then ask them, let them know you're looking for scholarships.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So do you apply first and then look for the scholarship, or do you
You
do you
can
okay, my question is, okay, let's say I want to go to UNC, right?
Mhm.
Do I go and apply for the school, or do I go and apply for scholarship?
Very good question. So if you want to go to UNC, apply to UNC and ask UNC what scholarships do you have. Most foundations, we have foundations that have funds that are put in accounts. So let's say, for example, UNC, I think they have something called, I don't remember that, for minority students, for first generation students. So UNC, that school that you've been accepted, do they have scholarships? So you
Mm-hmm.
ask them, say, what scholarships do you have available? And they will give that to you freely. So once you've been accepted, then you can. But as you're applying to schools, you can also apply for outside funding. We've had students who have received over 200,000 in scholarships. So you
Wow.
can, and there's nothing that is small. So you can get $500 from State Employees Credit Union, $500 from the Church Foundation, $500 from this community organization. So all that money is whatever you get
Mm-hmm.
sent to your school. So apply for money that is within the school, within the university, within the college, and then continue applying for outside funding sources. Because for those, it doesn't matter what school you get into, they will still give you your money.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay. Wow. That is amazing. So start as early as possible.
yes. Early. as possible. Never stop applying. Like I said, once you get to college, start applying. Go to your department, go to your chair, go to your school, go to
Mm-hmm.
student organizations, go to your local church and see what funding they have. There's always money.
So, according to you, which scholarship do you think are the easiest to get?
Easiest scholarship, and I don't really say there's an easiest scholarship. The easiest scholarship is merit based. Those ones that are offered by the schools.
Okay.
So those institutions, like I said, schools already have funding. Like I told you, for the example, what we have here is the Native American. So any Native American who comes to Indiana University, that's easy because they qualify. It's merit based. They've been accepted, and they meet
Okay.
the criteria. So the easiest scholarships are those that are offered by the universities. So what does that mean? That means you have to work very hard, get good grades, have good recommendations, and stand out so that when you get into those schools, you get money. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
take a step back and say, I just don't want to be accepted into this particular school, but I want to be an excellent student.
Okay.
So that's why I say start preparing right now. Start preparing right now. Stay engaged in your school. You are your own ambassador. Stay
Mm-hmm.
engaged in organizations, participate in sports, community service, because those are things, those are the kind of, when you're writing that statement,
Yeah.
that makes you stand out. So you look at yourself and say, do you stand out? What have you
Mm-hmm.
been doing? Don't just sit and so get good grades, be an engaged student, engage in sports, community events, volunteer, serve community. That's my student that I will give them full funding.
Yeah.
Have any funds in my department, I will give that kind of student.
Okay. So, one of the things that I hear a lot is, um, like when I tell people to apply for scholarship, is
Mhm.
that the process is so hard. Is it really a hard process to apply for scholarship? And what things do they really ask for when you're applying?
So it is not hard at all. What is difficult is people procrastinate.
Mm-hmm.
They wait until the last minute, then they become so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's why I said apply, because all they ask is meet the application deadline. Use a planner. So make a schedule and stick to that. So each scholarship or each foundation, they have different criteria, right? And most of them, let's say for example, your statement, you already have that. Your
Mm-hmm.
recommendations, you already have that. So you need to look at the deadlines and
Okay.
make a calendar, give yourself time, plan ahead of time, and stick to that schedule. Get all the materials that you need.
Yeah.
Again, this organization will ask for this organization will ask for this, so get all the materials that they need early.
Yeah.
Don't ignore small awards, even if it's 500. Like I said, money is money. So they may ask for transcripts, activities, your extracurricular activities, recommendation letters. This is so key. This is very key. Do not wait until the last minute to ask somebody to give you a recommendation letter. If you need a recommendation letter, for example, from me, I will not give you a recommendation letter if I don't know you.
Yeah.
So build those relationships. There are students who will call me, even they're applying for, green card, whatever. They will call me at midnight. They say, please, I need a recommendation. I said, you know what? I'm going to get up at 5 and give you a recommendation. But there are some that I'm like, I am so sorry. I can't do this. I
Yeah.
will tell you I don't have the time. And I will tell you I have nothing to say about you. I don't know what to say. And I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
lie.
Yeah.
So the key thing is why it makes difficult is because they can't get those materials on time. Those recommendation letters are key. So
Okay.
build those relationships with your teachers, with your counselors, with your pastor,
Mm-hmm.
with your community leader. Some of those require somebody outside of school who can give a good recommendation. But if you're not a good citizen, it's going to be difficult to get a good recommendation.
True.
Write your essay. They will require an essay. Write it in advance. And I tell young people, your parents are the best resources. They will help you draft your essay and speak truthfully. People want original. They want to see a real human being.
Mm-hmm.
Think about yourself. Who are you? Why are you so unique? Why do you deserve that scholarship? So speak about yourself, what you want to do, what you've accomplished, and things that you're doing in the community. When I'm giving you money, I want to make sure that this is somebody who's a community person who will pay forward. Somebody who is going to go out there and represent my foundation very well. I remember when my daughter went to Meredith College, they had some funding, some individual funders, they had some donors, endowed scholarships. But with those endowed scholarships, they wanted to know who they're funding because you're building a relationship with that person.
Correct.
At the end of the semester, you have to write a thank you letter. Communicate with them.
Mm-hmm.
So write that essay ahead of time. Write it well. Go to your writing center. Each school has a writing center. Or your English teacher, let them read it. Let your
Yes.
mother or dad read it. Let somebody else read it. Make sure it does not have any grammatical errors, because that's a ton of. Make sure it's a well-written essay. And then also attend scholarship workshops. They have a lot. They have workshops on campus. I'm telling you, I know that because I know that children don't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
They have scholarships, workshops that are offered in the colleges, at school. And then try it again. Don't give up. And one thing that I like here is sing your own praises. You are your own ambassador. You know yourself more. So sing your own praises loud and loud and loud and loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's say I want to apply for several scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
Can they just write one nice essay and use it in all of them? Or does it have to be catered to the particular?
That's a very good question. So you can actually, the main thing is the same. The gist is the same. You may just have to tweak a little things based on this.
Yes.
So some could be community service, some could be a sports related organization. So most of the time you can use the same one, but just make a few changes based on the application. So you really have to read that application very well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. People say it's hard because you wait until the last minute. They're overwhelmed, they're stressed. You hear them saying, I'm stressed, I can't do this, I can't do this. So take your time to read it. Use the same one to twig it. Even with a recommendation letter, you can just tell your advisor, whoever is giving you a recommendation, it's going to be the same information. You just tell them, I need recommendation letters for these organizations.
Correct.
So you don't have. So once you do this well, I would even say do that during your junior, during your sophomore. Start getting all these things together. Put them in a folder, a digital folder, so you just go back and edit.
I see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see someone making a comment there, Gilbert.
Okay.
Right, people need to put in the work.
That's
you have to put in the work. No, nothing is gonna just come on a silver plate.
That is so true, Gilbert.
Yeah. I'm reading my questions here because I had several questions to ask.
That's okay.
And people, if you're out there and you have a question, just send it in and I'm gonna ask it for you. So what are the chances of getting these scholarships? People say they are so hard. Like, what are the chances?
The chances are very high. Of course, they're going to be competitive. So that's why it goes back again to say chances of you getting a scholarship is very high if your grades are good, you're a good student, you sang your praises so well, you have good recommendations, and you're a good person. There's no one who doesn't want to give money to a good person.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
So the chances are there. So that's why I said apply for those very competitive scholarships and also go for the small ones, the YMCA. Like I said, there's so many. These things are all based on. So we have like the Coca-Cola Scholarship, the National Merit Scholarship, Hope Scholarship, the Gates Scholarship, the Gates Millennium Scholarship Program. So the list is on and on and on and on. And that is information you can actually Google. Mm-hmm. We even have scholarship. I remember somebody saying they got a scholarship for left-handed people.
Oh,
they got a scholarship for people with, people with disabilities. They have a scholarship for so they have all kinds of scholarships. Again, we have these donors They have money and they can say, I want my money to go to this and this. I
Okay.
want my money to go to first generation college students. I want my money to go to a female student. I want to sponsor this scholarship is earmarked for black male. So there are all these kinds of scholarships. And trust me, if you went to your counselor, they will give you. No one will say, no, I don't want to give you.
Okay.
Yep. That
Yeah.
information is readily available. If you even have to go with your parents and say, hey, we need help, because it is really, it's also based on where you're going to school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
Yes.
based on the area, to say, okay, my child wants to go to Kentucky. What scholarships are available there? So then we can look through that and say, these are some potential scholarships. These are some potential things you can apply for. And those universities have those scholarships. Once you get that acceptance letter, or even when you're applying, tell them, hey, I'm interested in applying for scholarships. Do you have some list of examples? They will give you that freely.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have in colleges, we have, like, for our school, for example, we have people in financial aid, we have people in development, we have people in career and advances. So they will help you walk through that career to say, this is what you want to do. Okay, these are some potential pathways, and these are some resources of financial scholarships that you can apply for, and they will walk you through,
Yes.
give you feedback. Yes.
I know I got a lot of people messaging me from especially Kenya because I guess most of my followers are from Kenya.
Okay.
And I know there are several students who come like to Duke University and they come on a free ride, like nothing to pay. Everything is paid for. How and where do people who are like in Kenya, where do they need to go to apply for these scholarships?
Okay. So first and foremost, there are scholarships that are only designated for citizens or green card holders. So if you're not a citizen or you don't have a green card, then the scholarships are limited.
Okay.
But most of those that have come to Duke, that have come to Yale, these Ivy League schools, they either came on one merit scholarship, and they have scholarships like Equity Bank, what is this called? MasterCard.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all, that's what I'm saying. It's not easy. It's not hard to get a scholarship if you have done well. Those
Okay.
scholarships are given to A students, merit-based students, those who have excelled, they've got A's and they have everything. So we have merit scholarships. And then we also have athletic scholarships.
Yeah.
I know a lot of students who come here. So that is a full ride athletic scholarship. So everything is covered. Most of them come in as track and field. We have soccer, we have basketball, anything that even golf. We've had people coming on golf scholarships. So we have athletic based scholarships. Now, with merit based, all of them, you have to do well. So it's not just getting into the door. We've had students who have lost their scholarships because their GPA has gone down.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, they do. And then with the athletic scholarships, remember you're a student athlete, not an athlete student.
Mm-hmm.
So as a student athlete, you have to make sure that your grades are good. You're keeping your good grades, because if your grades go down below the GPA, then you will lose your scholarship. Likewise, if you're not performing as an athlete, then you will lose a scholarship.
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't know
nothing.
you could lose it.
Oh yeah, you lose. In fact, like not Robert said, like Gilbert says, nothing is easy.
Yeah.
Nothing comes easy. So they shouldn't think. And I tell them, those who are in Kenya, we talk about this a lot in Cassidy's, it's more difficult to get undergraduate scholarships. Now, there are some governments will give you scholarships. There's some government scholarship that will sponsor you if your country is sponsoring you.
Okay.
Most of those, we see other countries where they sponsor their students full time, full ride. But those ones you have to go back.
Correct.
So it's either if your government is not sponsoring you, if you're not on merit scholarship, if you're not on athletic scholarship, and if your family cannot afford to pay, it's expensive in this country. If your
Yeah.
family cannot afford, I highly discourage you coming, because it is not easy here. So then what I encourage them to do is they can do their undergraduate in Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can come here and do their master's.
Okay.
Now, if you come here to do a master's and a PhD, Then we have something called graduate assistantship. So you can either be a research assistant or a graduate assistantship. What that does is they pay for your full tuition and they give you a stipend. I graduated from this country. I did my master's and PhD, did not pay a dime.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
went on full ride because I was a graduate assistant. So they paid my school fees, insurance, and they gave me a stipend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you for example, in our School of Public Health, we really take care of our students. I think we give them $23,000 per year
Wow.
after tuition is covered.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So we give them, so there are places that will take care of you because they know that is what it takes. So they get about 2,300 a month. That's more than enough to get you a small place, to buy food, to take care of yourself.
Correct.
So once you finish your undergraduate, don't be in a rush. Finish it in Kenya. I know they have good help loans because I was part, we were part of that reform we talked about. Actually, we came up with that the new funding model.
Yes.
Because the previous funding model was very biased. So this one is they actually funded like the US, based on need based.
Okay.
So that is one of the changes that we recommended was the new funding model in Kenya is need based. Mm-hmm. So do your thing, do your 4 years, and then come to the US now and do your master's and do your PhD. And I tell people you should not have to pay for a master's or a PhD when you're in the United States. If you do, then you're not looking.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh wow. Almost 30 minutes. I know. I said it's gonna be 30 minutes, but I feel like we still have a lot of questions. If anyone has a question out there, please shoot it, and we'll be happy to answer it. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to see what other question to ask.
So what I could say, just a summary, is how to be competitive is, prepare in advance. Really prepare. That's not an option. Prepare in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Work hard. Please work hard right now. Forget about all these other distractions. You'll have fun later. Stay motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Have good friends.
Yes.
Good friends. Good friends is critical. Listen to your parents. They think we don't know what we're saying. I tell them, listen to your parents and have conversations. I remember one time I was talking to some friends and in Greensboro, and then I found out about this scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So I came and told my daughter, and she applied and she got it.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So just the networking. That's what I'm saying. Network. Rotary Club International. I'm a Rotary Club member here. We have funding, we sponsor students. So there are a lot of things that are going on there that people may not even know about.
Mm-hmm.
So work hard, make yourself stand out. Make yourself stand out. Somebody said, why should I give you money and not Dorcas?
Yes.
Now you should be able to tell your story to say, I've done this. So stand out, make yourself stand out. And not just in paper, but make sure you're doing activities that makes you stand out. Are you in leadership roles in your school, in high school? Or you're just sitting there and making noise?
Yes.
Step up and take leadership roles at school, in the community, in your church.
Mm-hmm.
Be seen, be visible. Read that application. I cannot overemphasize that. A lot of applications are thrown out because they did not read the instructions.
Oh, wow.
They did not read the instructions. And then make sure you submit an exceptional, an amazing scholarship essay or cover letter. And be realistic. Speak about yourself. Especially for us, we say, I've come from this. I've come a long way. Talk about your journey.
Exactly.
Because we read those essays. We do, because I sit on those. Actually, we have scholarships, different scholarships that we give. Actually, we just finished reviewing some last week. Mm-hmm. So we read those essays and we look at what is this person doing.
Okay.
So
wow. So you all actually read.
we read those essays big time. We read them. And then the other thing is what I also see is, so for example, when you're in leadership position or department chair, when I was a department chair, I would get a call and email say, hey, we have this funding. Do you know any student who qualifies? So they may say, oh, we need somebody who has a 3.5 GPA and da-da-da-da-da. So if I know you, because sometimes we only have like 2 days to submit those names.
Correct.
But if I don't know you, then I'm not going to submit your name. So I'll send my email to faculty and say, hey, do you know any student who's done this? If you're that person who just comes to class, sits in the back, and leaves, you'll be left out.
That's right. That's
So
right.
be involved. Be a good student. Be a great student. And people will market you. People will sponsor you. People will speak up for you when they see something good. They're like, hey, so and so, I saw this. Go ahead and apply for it.
Correct.
Yeah.
As we summarize, Geronimo, can you tell people about your organization, KSID, and how can people benefit or join it? And, as just we sum up everything.
Okay. So KSID is a Kenya Students in Diaspora. And I started this organization in 2018. And the reason I did this was I had a very rough journey going to school in the US. Life happened. At some stage, I was going to school as a single parent.
Oh, wow.
And I don't even know how I did it because I did my PhD as a single parent.
Yeah.
So I struggled a lot. There are things, and at that time, I didn't have any support system. And I promised God, I said, God, if you give me the courage, if you help me make it through, I promise to pay forward.
Yeah.
So I had people who stood by my side. My family was there. So I promised God, to me, this is a ministry that I will pay forward.
That's
so what
true.
we do as KSID is we bring international students together. We support them. Like during COVID, we were able to raise money. We were able to support them get basic needs. There were students who needed to be, to get transport to go from, point A and B. There are students we needed to get them housing. So we support students emotionally. I don't want to say financially because we don't really have the capacity to do that, but we point them to resources.
Okay.
So we do group mentoring. We have 3 WhatsApp groups. We have a Facebook page. We have this. So we provide resources. If you go to our link, we're always sharing information about how to apply for colleges, when, how, resources. If there's any internships, if there's any jobs, if there's any scholarships, we share that information there. And we have mentors and mentees that are in those groups. So, for example, if you ask a question about this, we have so many of us, we have so many professors there who will answer your questions. So we have mentors who are in those groups. We actually have mentors in all careers: chemistry, physics, engineering. We even have mentors in corporate. Dr. Chesi Muchai?
Yeah.
KSID. So Dr. Chesi Muchai is actually the CFO, and he helps us with the corporate individuals who want to go to the corporate, to corporate. So we have a series that we call it Chronicles of Diaspora Students, the do's, don'ts, and everything in between. We meet every month. We have a Zoom session once a month, and we talk about different things. We've talked about we call emotional wellness, financial wellness. We talk about internships, how to apply for internship, how to interview. So we have all whatever needs to be done. In fact, our next speaker next week will be somebody from Equity Bank.
Okay.
Who will talk to us about the scholarships that are there. Then we'll have somebody from KenSUP and different organizations. So we bring in different professionals. And the beauty with this is it's the students who come up with these ideas. So we have a leadership. I started the organization, but we have students. Gilbert, I think Gilbert there was the first president. Right now we have Jimmy Ocheng, who is the president. So the students run the organization.
Okay.
They come up with the topics. They do a survey. They come up with the topics. And we're just here to support the students.
That is so amazing. You're really doing an amazing work. And after I post this, I'm going to add the link there so that if people want to know more about your organization, they can do that. But wow, I want to thank you so much. It's 30 minutes. I wish we had more time. But thank you so much for, joining me and giving people this information. I'm sure it's very helpful because, we are approaching that time when kids are going to college. At least now they know that there are resources out there and how to start preparing for that. Again, thank you so much. And, and everybody who joined us and everyone who will join later. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.